Hey YouTube, YTPC, Pipe Miner Chris here. I have a YABO to do. Well, kind of. This one, not currently smoking anything. That'll be my next video. Got this box in from Berg. It's something that we had talked about. Well, what we had been discussing is I was working on repairing an old, or trying to repair an old estate pipe that a friend of mine, a co-worker of mine, found at an antique shop, and it was not in very good shape, because I don't know if it'll pick it up on camera or not, but yeah, there it goes. You can see the crack in the back of that bowl and another one in the front. And I reamed it out and found out that the crack in the back of the bowl especially goes on the inside. I mean, it comes almost all the way down to where the stem is, or the shank. So I wasn't sure that I could make it reliable as a smoker. I mean, I could fill it, mud the inside of the bowl, and make it something that he could smoke occasionally, but I don't know how well it's going to handle the heat. And looking at this, I'm not 100% sure that that's even a piece of briar. I think this might be, the only marking I can find on it is it says Milano on it, but I mean, the grain in it looks almost like it may be cherry or maple or something along those lines. I don't know for sure what it is. But anyway, what they had put in it was, and I don't know why, but it had this Kaywoodie stem in it, which obviously is not the right diameter for this pipe. I mean, it didn't belong in that pipe, whatever else. But it's a perfectly good, it's a 3-hole stinger, so nothing spectacular, but I mean, otherwise the stem is fine. Well, Berg said, well, I've got one here that's got a good bowl but a screwed up stem. He says, I'll send it to you. So he sent me this bowl. It's kind of a rusticated, I'm not sure if it looks like it's blasted, mild light blast on it, I guess. So he sent me the bowl, and I took that stem out of the other one, put it in this one, and it might take just a little bit of sanding to get things right, but it fits. So thanks to his help, I now have a smokable pipe that dude can have, and I can put the other one together essentially as a decorative piece, conversation piece, which he's fine with. He was telling me that early on, that if that's what had to happen, then he'd be fine with it. But Berg being the way he is, that wasn't the only thing he sent. He sent me a sample of frogmorton across the pond. He told me he had some that he found it a little bit too sweet for his, that he said rather than cracking open the tin that I have, he would send me that as a sample so I could try it. And I'm glad that he did, because after trying it for Syrian Latakia, I will, I don't know, I've got some vintage Syrian that I'll smoke first, I guess. Then he sent me an ounce of that McClelland's 2010 flake that he found. That they're really nice, McClelland flakes. And last night I got out some of the 40th anniversary that I've got cracked open, and man, that stuff is very, very similar to the 40th anniversary. But he also had told me, when we started talking about fixing that other pipe, he said, hey, I got this pipe, would you be interested in it? I said, well, I don't have one of those, so yeah, I'd be interested. So some of you may recognize the emblem on the bag, but he sent me a raw, it's an unfinished Crow Valley anse. So I don't have an anse. Doesn't have anything from Crow Valley. It's even engraved laser. Looks like laser engraved or engraved on the bottom, stamped. But he sent it to me. He said, "Yeah, just take it and finish it. Whatever you want to do with it." So it's got a couple of pits on the outside, and it's got some very light rustication to it. That I don't know. I think I'm going to sand it all down and finish it. I'd like to do a contrast stain on it. We'll see how it turns out. But I now have my first, real anse. I'm kind of excited about that. And when I can get it stained and colored and whatever else, I'll bring it back out and show. But that took care. There's a bro note with the stuff and I had already opened this. I got it Friday and it sat here yesterday and I kept looking at it, and last night we were on house party, so I opened it up with Berg so he could see it, but I knew some of that stuff was in there, so I couldn't hold off anymore. But speaking of Mr. Berg, one of the things, I just saw him do a video today about talking about your sellers and that kind of stuff, and something that I hope comes out of all of this McClelland craziness that has been happening for the last week and a half is, and I know it hit, that was a surprise. I mean, we've all known for a year that Dunhill was going away. Lots of time to stock up. I mean, they didn't go from rumors to ceasing production in less than a month. We've had lots of time. McClelland's was such a shock, I think, because it went from, well, I've heard some hints that this might be happening and they're having trouble finding Red Virginias, to, holy crap, they're shutting the doors. I mean, it's done. Because this is a passion hobby, people get very emotionally attached to certain things. It's pipes for some people it's blends, and we've all got our favorite blends. Frogmorton Cellar has been my favorite blend, and I've only been at this for a year, but that has been my favorite one, I think, since I tried it. And so yeah, it sucked that it was going out, but I didn't have everything that I wanted of it, so I wasn't about to pay, and I still won't pay the escalated, overinflated prices that they're going for on eBay. I mean, that's a personal choice. I'm just, even if I had the money, that's my choice. I'm not paying for it. There are other tobaccos out there, and plenty of them, but that what was it, Tuesday, Smoking Pipes all of a sudden shows up with just a boatload of Frogmorton Cellar in 100 gram tins, and then the original Frogmorton in both 100 and 50 gram tins. So I ordered my tins that I wanted, because I had I had a target number that I wanted for putting away in storage, that I figured when I get to that point, that's enough for me. That will last for however long I'm going to be wanting it, and by the time I get out of that, I will have found plenty of other things to keep smoking. So smoke it, enjoy it, and when it's gone, it's gone. But one lesson that I learned out of all this is, now when I find a blend that I really do enjoy, and Escudo is one that I have just recently got my first 10, tried it, and I can tell you it will be on my shopping list whenever I make the next order. But instead of buying 110 of something and smoking it and then not having any more, I'm just going to make an order once a month, whatever it is, and I'll get, one or two tins of Escudo. I'll get a 10 or 2 of whatever else, whatever my budget allows. And instead of trying a whole bunch of new stuff all the time, I'll flip it over and build my cellar a little bit so that I've got things that I really know that I like, and then I'll throw in 1 or 2 tins of something new so that I can try some new things here and there. But my main goal will be to stock up on some stuff so that just in case, and there aren't any rumors flying, any, I guess, substantiated rumors flying about anybody else having any kind of inkling to shut down. But in the event that something happens and somebody else runs into problems, or the FDA comes along and stuffs a boot on everybody's throat, I will have some stuff built up. Now, I have built up a supply of McBaron's vintage Syrian because I really like that. I'd put that one right behind Frogmorton Cellar for my personal taste. And I have built up a supply of that should last me quite some time. And I may get some more, and I've bought the bags, but I may get some tins. I don't know. But, even as I sit right now, I'm good on that, really. I could do with a little more, perhaps, but that's something I'll decide as the opportunity arises. But, build a cellar slowly. And then when things like this happen, there won't be the panic that there has been with this last one, because, it's been nuts. And I've been watching a guy, his name's Colin Kelly, and I'll probably put a link to his channel and Berg's in the box. But Colin Kelly, if you haven't seen him, he was talking about, go check him out. He's pretty funny. But he was talking about McClelland's and how, I guess, shocking it was that in a matter of days, the supplies that at least the online retailers had of McClelland's tobaccos had been completely exhausted in a matter of days. And it didn't matter what it was. There were things, the aromatics, the stuff that was always in stock before, was flying off the shelves only because it said McClelland's. I have a suspicion that in a few months, it might take till the middle of summer, whatever, but all of this initial hype is going to disappear, and things will return back to where you can find those tins online for somewhat normal prices, at least comparable to brick and mortar prices. So we'll see what happens. But for me, I'm just going to buy a few tins of things here and there, stock up, and then if something else comes along, there won't be the panic. So anyway, until we get a chance to talk again, remember, life is short. Stop and smell the smoke.